Continuing what we talked about in the last video, let's now see how to dynamically and automatically create new forms using RC elements.
Elements.
I'm going to open my main form here, and I'm going to open my RC elements. And here you will see on the side where we have some options, okay? To be able to create. So I can use my form generator. I can simply create new frame, new form, or new modal from RadCORE's legacy model. Let's start with our simplest model.
Tá?
Let's create a new frame here. I'll click on the option, and then RC element will show me and define its settings. So I'm going to create here just a simple name, new frame, and I say, what is the folder in our current project that I want RadCORE to create this option? Well, then let's open our menu option, Menu Basics, and select the folder. I click on the Create button, respond to confirmation, and our new frame was created within our project.
Perfeito?
Remembering that this frame is already created following all the standards that RadCORE needs. In other words, it will already come with the class initialized, and it will already come with the rendering functions for your layout. You will save a lot of time. You will save a lot of time creating your frames and forms using Rec Elementos. Okay, so this was a simple example. You see that it's here added to the project. Okay, so here was a very simple example of how we could create this new frame. Following the same methodology, I can create a new form and I can create a new modal. So they are all similar. What we will now pay more attention to will be our form generator. So I'm going to click here on the form generator and look. Our generator allows us to create database-linked resources. So, for you to use this function, you will first teach RC elements how to configure the connection with your bank. I can select a previously configured configuration that I created previously, and I can make a new connection. So it's very simple. You'll select which bank you want to create your connection with, and fill in the data from your database. When you fill in the information, you will click on the Connect button. When executing the Connect option, RadCORE will automatically record this information so that the next time your connection appears in the list.
Perfeito? Então,
So I'm going to select a configuration that I have here previously. It fills in the information for me. And I'm going to click on Connect.
clica.
By clicking on Connect, I now have a list of all the tables in my database, and I will select a table with which I want to create a form.
Então,
Just for teaching purposes, I will select my cars table and select which fields from that table I want to add to my form. I will then select my code field, and RadCORE will automatically suggest the DB edit field for it. If you are creating an application that will not work with DataWare, with DBWare, you can create components in DBWare. Just click on this little arrow, and you will automatically be able to select your components without using DBWare.
ok?
Okay, let's go. So I'm going to create my code field, and I'm going to click on my little button too. I added my field here. It will automatically jump to the next field, but I don't want the assembler code. I now want the description field, and I'll add my registration field. So 2 fields were added for me to change mine to generate my form. As this form will be generated with responsive blocks, you can choose the initial template. Depending on the number of fields you will be creating, you can choose this model. And obviously, after generating it, you will be able to reconfigure these blocks. Here's just an initial idea. So I'm going to click here. As it has 2 fields, I'm going to select 2 columns. As I have the idea of generating a new form, I won't need to touch the block's parent here. Block's parent is interesting when you want to insert blocks and not create a new form. We'll do this example right away. Well, I want to create a new option in my menu. I'm going to create a new form, and I'm going to automatically add it to my menu. Okay, so I'm going to create sample cars here. It's going to be the name of my option there in my menu. The name of my form, so that I don't clash with previously created forms, I'm going to make a change here. I'm going to call it cars, and at the same time, here below it will also be called cars, which is the name of my form. That will be used in the option in the FRM attribute in the form generation that we saw in the previous video. Okay, what crude model will I create in RadCORE? I can create Model 1, Model 2, or I can create crude detail. So let's create Model 1. If I were creating forms in DBWare, I could add the dynamic bind feature, which we also saw in previous videos, a very useful feature that is now coming with RadCORE 6.0. It won't be our case. I'm wanting to create crude DBWare. I can just create the blocks, which is what we're going to talk about in our next video, and I can create our new crude, which is the objective of this video we're making. So I will create a new crude, new registration form with the data from the tables and fields that I selected, with the option always the case, everything as I defined in this form. Click on the item, confirm the creation, and wait for RadCORE to work.
A tela foi criada, ok? O menu.
The screen was created, the menu received the change, and I can see here at the end of my basics menu, RadCORE automatically added the sample cars option with the form parameter, the cars table, and the default icon, where I can then make some changes. The only thing you will have to do manually will be to position your option that was created in the menu you want. In fact, in the submenu you want. It's the only thing I haven't been able to do on a RadCORE yet.
Ok?
In future updates, we will try to make this completely automated. So I will remove this option here. I will give it control. It's the only thing you'll have to do for now manually.
Tá?
Well, my option has been created. Let's go back here just so we can look at how it was created. Our 2 blocks containing the edit call to the code field, the call to the description field that we added. Okay?
Tudo.
Everything is ready for our crude. Our crude is now fully functional. You will then analyze the comments so you can make the necessary modifications. I will compile our project. Let's refresh here. Let's refresh here.
Vamos a...
Let's open the mega demo and let's open the model below RC Racing here. There is our sample cars option. I'm going to click and it will automatically open my form. It will list my options and I already have my registration here, completely functional. Okay? With all the crude options you need to create your applications. Perfect? Well, to conclude the idea of our new video, I'm going to take our new frame that we made at the beginning of the video. I'm going to activate my RC element is here, remembering that our new frame has nothing inside it. Okay? So I'm going to activate my RC element, and I'm going to go back to my formula generator. I'm going to select my connection. I'm going to connect. I'm going to select a larger table here. Okay? Customers table, right? And as an example, I'm going to set up my code field here. I'm going to skip some items here. I'm going to use the name field. I'm going to skip it here. I'm going to use the date field. And I'm going to use the numeric value field here. The contract value. You see that this element goes automatically suggest the field according to its format. So the field that has a monetary value will suggest the correct Unigine component for editing monetary values. So I'm here with my list of fields, the date, the monetary value, the two edits. Okay? I'm going to select the default model here. I'm going to leave it here as 1x12. Okay? Not really. I'm going to select Force 3 here. And in this case, as I said a little earlier, I want my sender to be scrollbox, because in the RadCORE documentation, we already warned you to always insert scrollbox so you can use your responsive blocks. Well, I'm not going to create any options because I'm just wanting to insert components into an existing frame.
Tá? Então, ó,
So just now, after making my selection, I will click on the Create Only Form Blocks button.
create only form blocks.
Once that's done, I see that RadCORE generates for me all the blocks that will make up the items in my new form and the detail. Added our scroll box for me,
Ok?
all with the settings as we selected by column, by line, and the form is ready to be inserted.
Bom, temos
We have a lot more features to show you, but these few items that we are showing you during these videos give you an idea of the creative potential that RadCORE can offer you. So we leave it there until the next video.